and a Chevrolet executive all in the same event. A lot of things. Alright. Are you kidding me? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the episode of Inside the Lines. My name is Jett Knaus, and welcome to the September 29th episode of ITL. Holy hell. This is going to be an episode that's going to like the calm before the storm, where we're getting bits and pieces of information about the future of NASCAR before we get the bombshell news about the full 2021 schedule coming up tomorrow morning. So, yeah, this is going to be a big episode, but without further ado, let's not waste any time and jump right into it. Now, the first two stories are not going to be, I guess, as interesting compared to the last story we're going to talk about, which is going to be revolving around the 2021 schedule. So because of that, if you guys do not want to deal with the first two stories, I'll leave a link, or not a link, but at least the timestamps of this episode in the description down below, or a timestamp right now on your screen. You can go ahead and skip to the final part of the episode where I talk about some of the changes that are expected to take place in the 2021 schedule. But if you are a true subscriber and true fan, and you're going to watch this entire episode, I do applaud you. The first story revolves around the future of Hendrick Motorsports. Now, we know Jimmie Johnson, he's going to be retiring at the end of the season. We know Hendrick Motorsports got hit with a big $100,000 fine and lost 10 hours of wind tunnel timing because they broke the rules by going over the time allowed for the 2020 season. Well, now we have another change coming to play in 2021. Chad Knaus, he has a new role. He has transitioned to a leadership role, which means that he will no longer be a crew chief at the end of the 2020 season. And this will end I think 20 years or 21 years. Chad Knaus has been on top of the pit box. Remember, before his time at Hendrick Motorsports, he was a crew chief in 2001 at least, for Stacy Compton, the number 92, I think it was the Kodak Dodge car. And they were really strong in terms of qualifying speed on the super speedways. But since 2002, him and Jimmie Johnson, we know the history between those guys. The 85 wins, I think. 7 championships. One Daytona 500 technically, because Chad Knaus was not there for the first one. Just overall, tons of success between the two. And it looks like they're going to both end their careers basically at the same time. John's going to end his career as a driver, while Chad Knaus will end his career as a crew chief in 2020. That was my Discord going off. Apologize about that. Can you shut up? But now Chad Knaus will have a new role along with Jeff Andrews. Hendrick Motorsports announced today that they have both promoted the senior leaders of Jeff Andrews and Chad Knaus into new roles designed to enhance the competition structure at HMS. As Vice President of Competition, Knaus will oversee the technical development of the Hendrick Motorsports' entire stable of Chevrolet race cars, including its implementation of NASCAR's 2022 next-gen vehicle. Knaus will report to Andrews, who had been promoted to Executive Vice President and General Manager effective immediately. Andrews joined Hendrick Motorsports in 1992 and most recently served as Vice President of Competition in 2017. He previously held a variety of leadership positions in the team's engine department, including Director of Engine Operations. Now, because of Knaus' transition to a leadership role at Hendrick, he will be at the shop a lot more than, I guess, he'll be at the shop full time. Now, this is a main part of the reason why. Now, the main reason why Knaus did this is because of his family. He has stated before that he wanted to spend more time with his family, with his kids. So that's the main reason why he transitioned to this role, because he wants to see his kids, but he wants to still be in that sort of competitive environment. Now, obviously, with Knaus leaving, Hendrick Motorsports will have to announce a new crew chief for the 24, but that will be determined at a later date. As for what this means, Chad Knaus, he's one of the GOATs of crew chiefs in NASCAR, and you're going to have him oversee the entire operation of the Hendrick Motorsports stable. It's going to be really, really big to see what he can do, especially with the implementation of the next-gen car in 2022. Maybe with Knaus' leadership and I guess you could say his eyes covering everything that's going on at HMS, it could be a really good thing for the future of that team, because ever since 2015, they've been sort of slipping. It started, 2014 was, in my opinion, their last good year when we saw all 4 cars be competitive. Since 2015, it was either one car not doing good. Then later on, it was 2 cars not doing good. And now, no cars are doing good. Aside from maybe Chase Elliott and Alex Bowman. But it's been a weird downslide for Hendrick Motorsports in the past 4 or 5 years. And now, with Chad Knaus being at the helm of looking over everything and Jeff Andrews, they are hoping that this will be the move that could see Hendrick Motorsports be back on top in 2022 when the next gen is released. Now on to Kyle Larson. Now, I've already discussed Kyle Larson in a previous video on why I think he should deserve a second chance. If you guys want to check it out, I'll leave a card on the top right of your screen. But if you guys have already watched this, well, let's just say for the people that want to see Kyle Larson coming back to NASCAR, it is looking like there's a very big possibility. A report came out, or a tweet came out from Adam Stern that said that NASCAR is expanding its work with the Urban Youth Racing School, and several industry people were in Philly for a visit 2 weeks ago, including Steve Phelps, the president of NASCAR, a Chevy executive, Jim Campbell, and Kyle Larson. That is very important. You have the president of NASCAR, a Chevy executive, and Kyle Larson both in the same event. Now, the Urban Youth Racing School is a community that NASCAR has been promoting with Jeff Gordon, I think, and Dale Jr. being at the event numerous times in the past. Kyle Larson has also been at this event numerous times, even before the slur incident on April 31st. But since then, he has been to that place more often to try and make amends for what he said on an iRacing stream. But yeah, having Chevy, NASCAR, and Kyle Larson at the same event is huge. Yeah, you could be like, oh, what they're at the same event. More than likely, they're gonna be seeing each other, and they probably talked to each other for quite some time. We know that Kyle Larson has not been reinstated yet by NASCAR, and probably with Steve Phelps being there talking to Kyle Larson, it could potentially, they could talk about reinstatement. Chevrolet is there, or at least a Chevy executive is there. He could be talking to Larson about, hey, maybe we can allow you or give you a second chance, or I don't know. I'm not going to dive into what they could be talking about, but the fact that all three are at the same event, more than likely they're going to be talking with each other. That is big, big stuff. And we all know in recent weeks, rumors have been swirling around about Kyle Larson being the leading candidate for the 48 car. But now, I do believe that Larson could end up at Hendrick. I don't think it's going to be the 48 car. What I could see happening, because you have to understand that 48 car, Allied, Financial, they are on that car for the next 2 or 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. If Allied doesn't want Kyle Larson, what I could see happening is Bowman driving the 48 car and Larson to the 88, and he's going to have to go through, find a way through, because I know that 88 car has a whole different form of sponsorship. It's not like the 48 car where it's just one sponsor. They have Valvoline, they have, I think it's Illumor, don't know what that's called, Chevy Goods and other forms of Chevy products. I could see Larson in that division, in the 88 car, but I don't really see Larson in the 48 car, but I could see him very well likely at Hendrick Motorsports because, everything is just pointing to Larson at Hendrick. In my opinion, it would be a shock to not see Larson at Hendrick. There's been so much reports surrounding Larson and Hendrick, it's almost as if it's bound to happen. But at this point, it's all just rumors, all just speculation, but I'll be honest, I won't be surprised if we see Larson at Hendrick in 2021. But I will be surprised in terms of which ride he goes to. Could he go to the 48? But could he go to the 88? Who knows? It really all just depends on what Ally says. If Ally likes Larson, they're willing to give him a second chance, he's going to the 48. If not, I could see him going to the 88. It all just depends on what Ally thinks. And now for the people that skipped to this part of the episode, or to the people that watched through the first two stories, welcome to the final part of this show. And yes, we're going to talk about the 2021 schedule, bombshell after bombshell after bombshell. And there are also many bombshells compared to the one we're going to get tomorrow morning, revolving around 3 tracks, or at least 3 announcements regarding NASCAR schedule in 2021. The first big announcement, Kentucky, Chicagoland, out. That's right, done, zip. Out of here in NASCAR in 2021. This was first reported, I believe, by Adam Stern, who first reported that Chicagoland will be leaving. Then The Athletic joined in and said that also Kentucky will be leaving. Now, as for Chicagoland, I'm not surprised by Chicagoland. Chicagoland has been on thin ice since about 2018, 2019, I want to say. There's been a lot of rumors and speculation going on with the lack of attention and attraction to the Chicagoland Speedway that it has been rumored for a long time that it was going to get taken off the schedule, at least when NASCAR's 5-year track agreement is up. Most people viewed Chicagoland as the first track on the chopping block. So that is not a surprise. Even though there were... even with photos of speculation going on, like this photo of some industrial thing that could be happening with Chicagoland, and it was just back and forth, and it only fueled the rumors even more that Chicagoland would be taken off the schedule, and with COVID-19 happening, canceling the race for this season. We were supposed to have a race this season at Chicagoland, but COVID-19 canceled that. It just felt like it was inevitable. It was like, it was not if Chicagoland will be taken off the schedule. It was more likely when. And today it was announced that Chicagoland will be taken off the 2021 schedule. Now, according to Chicagoland's website, they don't even know what 2022 is like. According to their website, it says that as far as NASCAR racing at the Chicagoland Speedway, it's difficult at this time to speculate on what 2022 might bring. We will continue to work with NASCAR on potential future opportunities beyond 2021, and we'll keep you updated. So, who knows? 2020, or at least 2019, I should say, could have been the last time we see NASCAR race at Chicagoland, which is a shame because Chicagoland, or Chicago, I should say, as a whole, has always been a market that NASCAR has struggled to attract. Remember, before Chicagoland Speedway, they had the Chicago Motor Speedway. I think it was around 1997 to 2000. They hosted the IndyCar Series, the Busch Series, I think also the Truck Series for a short amount of time. Then Chicagoland Speedway got built, and Chicago Motor Speedway got taken down, and it's now, I think, a Walmart or a parking lot or something like that. So, to see NASCAR's history of Chicago and like this potentially is pretty sad to see. Now, Kentucky, on the other hand, that was a shock to me. Kentucky has always been a racetrack that I never liked on the schedule. I've never liked it since the beginning. I've never liked Kentucky on the schedule. And not many people also like Kentucky. I would even go as far to say that it was one of the top 4 most hated racetracks on the schedule. But to me, Kentucky was a track that no one ever liked, but it was a track that we were never going to leave from. Especially when you have Bruton Smith saying at the inaugural race on this race was going to be bigger than the Daytona 500 or something like that. It was a very dumb thing for him to say, but I was very surprised to see NASCAR taking Kentucky off the schedule. I just never came to mind. I always thought Kentucky was safe. I don't know why, but I just thought it was safe. Maybe because of the area it was in. I don't know, but yeah, I'm not surprised to see. I was very surprised to see Kentucky off the schedule, but I am very glad. Get rid of the 1.5 mile racetracks. Happy that Kentucky's gone, but not happy that Chicagoland's gone. Chicagoland has always been a good track. I've always enjoyed that racetrack. There's been a lot of good moments at Chicagoland. I look back, I think it was 2008, 2009. They had some really good battles near the end of the races with, I think, 2008. They had Johnson and Kyle Busch. 2009, I think it was Kurt Busch, Jimmy Johnson, Mark Martin. Obviously, 2018, Larson and Kyle Busch. I mean, that will still go down as one of the best finishes I think I've ever seen in NASCAR history. 2019, Alex Bowman winning his first race. Kentucky, not that much history, but Chicagoland, a lot of history. So very disappointing to see those 2 tracks gone from the schedule. However, there is a silver lining to it. Bob Pockrass reported that while those 2 tracks are gone, 2 tracks, of course, will be replacing those. Road America and Atlanta Motor Speedway. Not Road Atlanta Motor Speedway. But Road America. Road America has been a track that a lot of fans have been pledging to be part of the NASCAR Cup schedule, and it looks like they're going to get just that in 2021. But Atlanta, that part I'm kind of intrigued by. We don't know if this is going to be a second Atlanta race or if they are moving Atlanta maybe to the middle of June. We don't know what Atlanta means. We know Atlanta's going to be part of the schedule, but we don't know if it's going to be 2 races or if it's going to be just 1 race. And if so, where are you going to put Atlanta on the schedule? And you thought that was it for news? No, we still got a lot more in terms of the 2021 schedule. Minutes ago, according to the Bristol Herald Courier, I think I butchered that name, but it has been confirmed. Bristol will become a dirt track and NASCAR will take the Cup Series and race on that dirt track to replace the spring Bristol event in 2021. Now, what's interesting about this is that they did this from pressure from Fox Sports. Fox Sports hosts the spring Bristol race, and alright, so we know that Bristol has already had a history with racing on dirt. In 2000, 2001, they did the World of Outlaws. So, why? Why is my question. Why Bristol? There's nothing wrong with Bristol. You want to take a track and put it on dirt? I'd be even okay if you took Richmond and put it on dirt, or Martinsville, or I don't know, but I'm just picking names. But why Bristol? There's nothing wrong with Bristol. Don't ruin it. I get why though they did it, because let's be honest. While the Bristol spring events have been so much fun to watch, has produced such good racing, the attendance has been piss poor. Now, in my opinion, I think the reason for that has been because of the weather. I mean, I think since 2014, it has rained at least one time, either a rain delay or has moved it to Monday. Every single time since 2014. Either 1 or 2 years, it hasn't happened, but since 2014, almost every single time, there's been rain in the area. And that does play a role. When rain happens every single year, it does sort of force you to not even think about even going. Why would you even go to an event when you know more than likely it's going to rain? So I've always figured if they just move the racetrack to maybe May or June, that would be fine. But I don't know, putting Bristol on dirt, I just don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's necessary. And I've always said this, and I posted a tweet about this earlier a few weeks ago, that ARCA and Trucks should be the only two series on the NASCAR sanctioned series to run on dirt. ARCA has raced on dirt before. The Trucks raced on dirt at Eldora since 2013. I felt like those are the only two tracks that should race on dirt. I think the Xfinity and the Cup Series is where, okay, this is when you, I guess you could say the real racing. I don't want to say real racing, but that's when you start to get really into it to try and prove yourself as a top tier NASCAR driver. And so I think the Xfinity and Cup Series should stay on asphalt. I think having ARCA and Truck Series on dirt as their own series, it gives them something special. You know, it gives them something special about it. Having trucks on dirt and not having the Xfinity and Cup on dirt. I don't know what the Xfinity series is going to do. There hasn't been anything reported about Xfinity running on dirt, but only the Cup Series. But more than likely, we could see a doubleheader Xfinity and Cup race on dirt on the same weekend. But yeah, not a big fan of that. I understand why they did it. I understand why Fox Sports did it. But again, I just don't think it's a good idea. But that is not it. Okay, no, it's it. But there was also announcements, rumors swirling around on how a NASCAR, they're going to have, I think, 5 or 6 races on the 2021 schedule. There's also rumors, or at least something of an announcement taking place at the Texas Motor Speedway. Eddie Gossage posted this photo of an announcement scheduled to take place, I believe, on Wednesday. I think this might have to do with the Texas Roval, because Texas Motor Speedway posted an image a few weeks ago on their social media page of a Texas Roval, or at least Texas as a road course. So could that maybe be part of the announcement? Who knows? But I'm telling you, this is the calm before the storm. When Wednesday morning hits, everything's going to break loose. Everything's going to go off the rails. Everyone's going to be losing their minds. And I cannot wait for that. Yeah, that's going to end this episode of Inside the Lines. This massive episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know a lot of the news I said, the first 2 stories came out a lot earlier. I do apologize for that. I had 0 time. I'm wearing the same shirt I think I've worn a lot because I've been working. Just got back home. I had 0 time to get the equipment ready and everything like that. So I do apologize for the delay. But yeah, that's going to conclude this episode of Inside the Lines. If you guys haven't already, leave a like and subscribe for more content. Tell me your guys' thoughts on any of the stories I talked about in today's episode. And until next time, my name is JettMDK, and I'll see you guys next time.